DBT Interpersonal Effectiveness 2. In our last session, we focused on objectives effectiveness, so how we get what we want from a relationship. In today's session, we'll look at relationship effectiveness. This is how we improve or maintain a good relationship with the other person, whilst at the same time getting what we want. This skill looks at how you go about improving the relationship by looking at the way you interact with people. For example, is your voice angry and shouting, or gentle and respectful? Do you ask, or do you demand? Do you listen to other people, or cut them off halfway through a sentence? If you throw a tantrum if your friend forgets your birthday, they definitely won't forget it again, but they are likely to be bitter rather than affectionate. More effectively, you could gently remind them or ask them to put it in their calendar so they remember it. Relationship effectiveness is needed in every interaction, from talking to a shop assistant to breaking up with a partner. Imagine the two scenarios. 1. Your partner understands that the relationship is over, but they leave hating you. Or 2. Your partner understands the relationship is over and leaves with respect for you and wishing you all the best. Which would you prefer? So in order to improve our relationship, we can use our give skill. Give stands for be gentle, act interested, validate, and use an easy manner. Now let's look into it in a little bit more detail. So the G in give, as we already said, stands for be gentle. Being gentle means being nice and respectful in your approach. People tend to respond much better to you this way. Basically, this means 4 things. 1. No attacks. People won't like you if you attack them or express anger directed at them. Number 2. No threats. Don't make manipulative statements or hidden threats. Tolerate your distress if someone says no to you. Stay in the discussion if it gets painful, and then exit gracefully. Using attacks and threats have limited effectiveness in getting what you want. It might work temporarily, but the long-term consequences aren't worth it. So how do you communicate wanting to quit something because it's too hard? For example, a job or a relationship, or an extreme wish such as wanting to commit suicide. The idea is to make it sound like you're taking responsibility for the situation, even if you didn't cause it. For example, I want to use drugs or harm myself, but I want help so that I don't, rather than I'm going to kill myself if you don't do this for me, which can make others feel responsible and powerless. You could use your mindfulness skill of describe here. Describing to the other person the urges that you might be having. For example, I'm having a really strong urge to have a drink right now, is less threatening. Number 3 is no judging. No name calling, no shoulds or implied put downs, no guilt trips. Can you remember a time when you've ever felt judged? What did it feel like? Number 4 stands for no disrespect. This means no sneering, expressing contempt or scorn, or walking out on conversations. No putting others down. Sometimes even if you say respectful things, your body language might be saying something else. The I in give stands for act interested. Listen to the other person's point of view, opinion, reason for saying no or making a request. Don't interrupt or try to talk over the other person. Don't mind read any thoughts or intentions without checking them out. Don't confuse your assumptions with fact, especially if you think the other person's being uncaring, rejecting or hostile. If you're concerned about this, gently ask them, but be patient if they don't want to have that discussion at the time. People will generally respond better to you if you act interested. Acting interested is not the same thing as being interested. There'll be times when you're not interested in what others want to say, but choosing to listen means deliberately choosing to be effective. The V in give stands for validate. This means communicating that the other person's feelings, thoughts and actions are understandable to you given his or her past or current situation. You should validate the why even if you disagree with the what. We can say, I know that you feel that you have to shout at me, because if you don't you'll keep things inside and never get what you want. But at the same time I don't like it. I really want you to stop shouting and just tell me what you want. Validate the other person by using words. Acknowledge their feelings, wants and difficulties without using judgmental words, voice tone, facial expressions or posture. Try to read and validate their non-verbal signals. Validating often requires you to read and interpret the other person's non-verbal signs, such as facial expression or body language. For example, I know you're very busy, or I can see that this is something really important to you. Or I know it's a bit out of your way, but... Try to notice and validate when others are right, or that what they're saying makes sense given the facts. Remember that actions speak louder than words. Sometimes words can come across as invalidating. The last point in our give skill is to use an easy manner. Try to be light-hearted. Use a little humour, smile, and ease the other person along. Using an easy manner can help to create a comfortable atmosphere even when tensions are high or the atmosphere is tense. It helps to convey the message that the conversation is safe and that the other person can be relaxed without worrying too much. People don't like to be bullied, pushed, or made to feel guilty, but a good manipulator helps the other person to like giving in or giving you what you want. People like contributing.